One of the most important concepts of understanding harmony is understanding the nature of a triad as a separate unit, independent and sovereign, as it were, unit, and that it can be perceived as a unit no matter how it is constructed in the music, always as that triad. This is important because often in the voicing of a given triad or seventh chord, as we'll see later, the voicing will be very much according to the rules of voice leading, that is counterpoint, and that it may not be voiced as obviously as simply three triads together, like that. It may be voiced in different ways, including that it's not necessarily going to be in the construction we recognize with the root at the bottom, the third above the root, and the fifth above that. In fact, we may see very quickly that we will see inversions of any given triad. So let's just review very quickly that a triad is three pitches played simultaneously or collectively heard as a simultaneity, in which there is a bottom pitch called a root, a middle pitch is called a third, and a top pitch is called the fifth. And that these are the three elements that are in a triad, regardless of where they are found. If I, for example, spelt this or understood this in this constellation, you see it's the same pitches. That F is still my root, that the C is still my fifth, and the A is still my third. And again, if I have it over here, and I've got it there, saying I still have an F, A, C triad, semi-triad, but now my root is there, my third is here, and on the bottom is my fifth. These are referred to as inversions of the triad. Whatever the lowest pitch one hears, or sees in the music, is its inversion. Regardless how the triad is voiced, it is still the same triad. However, whatever is the lowest pitch in a given triad is its inversion. For example, when I play these three notes together, there my root is my bottom of my F major triad. However, my A is in the bottom, the lowest pitch. It's still an F major triad, but now it's inverted. Now my C is in the bottom, that's the lowest pitch. And this is another inversion of the same triad. To designate an analysis which inversion we have, we borrow an older system of understanding music referred to as figured bass. This derived from when keyboard players and lute players were given a piece of music, and all they got was a bass note. You got a key signature and a bass note with a duration and numbers underneath it. And by looking at those numbers, they understood this is a sixth above that pitch, and that's a third above that pitch that I need to voice in my realization of a part, my improvisation of a part. I need to realize the sixth and the third above it. We have borrowed this system in analysis of it, in our Roman numeral analysis and our understanding of how to designate triads and seventh chords according to their analysis, their purpose, their function within harmony. We have borrowed the system to indicate the inversions. We have borrowed these figured bass, the figured bass, to tell us what inversion we are hearing. Now let's take an example. If I have, for example, here in the key of A major, a major triad with the root on the bottom. This is what we refer to as root position. And using figured bass, I can see that if I had nothing else there, I would have just that. I would have then to have a third above that, and a fifth above that to give me a root position triad in this closed position. We refer to this as root position, and using these figured bass numbers indicate that there's a root position harmony by a 5 and a 3 above the lowest note. Root position, 5 and a fifth and a third above that lowest note. Same triad, if the third was in the bass, would not have a third and a fifth below the root. It has different intervals. And we indicate that in the figured bass to indicate its first inversion by using a 3, 6. Now what that tells me, the 6 and 3 tells me there's a 6th above that lowest pitch and a third above that lowest pitch. Here, the lowest pitch is A, a third above that is C, a fifth above that is E, gives me an A major pitch, or triad. Here, the lowest pitch is C sharp, a third above that is E, a sixth above that is A, gives me also an A major triad. But this time the lowest pitch is my C sharp, so it is in first inversion. Root position, first inversion. Lastly, if I have an A in the bottom, and this is now the same triad, if I have, an E in the bottom, and this is the same triad, then that would be a fourth and a sixth above that lowest pitch. A fourth above E is A, a sixth above E is C sharp. A, C, E sharp, A, C sharp, E is the same triad, right? Same pitches, but now with the lowest pitch being a fifth of the triad, or what we refer to as second inversion. So when we have the root at the bottom, it is root position, and it doesn't matter how it's actually voiced. This could be that the tuba has that low A, or it could be the piccolo has that low A, and everybody's above the piccolo. Doesn't make any difference. When the lowest note, lowest pitch heard is an A, it is in root position. When the lowest pitch is the root, then it's in root position. This is first inversion, and first inversion means that the third is the lowest pitch. The third of the triad is the lowest pitch we hear. Again, it could be that the trombone has the C sharp and everybody else is above it. But it could also be the clarinet is playing very high in C sharp, but everybody above that is higher than that. So as long as the lowest pitch heard is that C sharp, it is in first inversion. Lastly, second inversion implies the fifth is the lowest pitch heard. Lowest pitch heard is fifth, and everything else is above that. Listen to how it sounds. Root position. First inversion. Third inversion. Second inversion. Once again, root position. First inversion. Third inversion. I'm sorry. Root position. First inversion. Second inversion. So they do have a different sound, don't they? Again, one more time just to review that. Here we are in A major. We have my root. That is a third above there. That is a fifth above there. That equals then my root position triad by 5/3. My first inversion, nothing, there's a third, a sixth, okay, and lastly, my fifth, my second inversion, nothing, 4 and 6. And all three of those are the same triad, but each is in a different inversion, root, first, or second inversion. Now, musicians are smart people, and they are often work in shorthand. And so, you may indeed see a 5 and 3 below a given pitch, and know that that is then in root position. You can work that out yourself, and say, okay, a third above that is a third, a fifth above that is an A, is my fifth, and that's root position. However, musicians are kind of lazy, and we take a lot of assumptions, so if you see absolutely nothing underneath a given pitch, you can assume it's in root position. And that's more common than actually seen. So if I have a pitch here, and there's nothing underneath it, I'm going to assume there's a third and a fifth above it, and that is a D major triad in the key of A. Similarly, if we have a first inversion triad, it is more likely that the third will be assumed and we'll just see a sixth. Just a sixth. In that case, if I have a given pitch, there's a sixth above it, I can assume the third. So this is the third above that, and the sixth above that, and I have a B minor triad in the key of A major. Lastly is our third inversion. In this case, nothing can be assumed, and you will always see 6/4. So, in terms of looking at music, you will see our root position, it will either have 5, 3, but most likely nothing. Our first inversion was 6, 3, but most likely just a 6. And our second inversion, 6, 4, to indicate second inversion harmonies. We will add to this then, later on, how we add Roman numeral. We will add Roman numeral analysis to this later on. Now, building triads and set is very important. So we should learn how to, from a given pitch, build up and down. How do I build from this B flat a root position triad? Well, I look at the B flat and I say 3, 5. That means there's a third above that. Third above B flat is D, and a fifth above B flat is F. And then I can look and go B flat, D, F is a major triad, and I know I have a major triad. Same thing if I see the second inversion. Means I have a fourth above that and a sixth above that. And I say, look at that. I'm not sure what that is though, but it's a second inversion chord. How can I know what that is? Well, there are a couple of ways. One way is to use inversion. Let's invert this to make it into root position. Easiest things to do that then is to move that E up an octave, and I see I have an A, in this case, A minor triad in second inversion. Here's another example. Okay, well, no. Here's another example. Here's another example. Keep E flat, and I have that. Well, that implies a third as well, so I know this is a first inversion triad of some sort. And then I can add my pitches up. There's a third above that and a sixth above that. Now I want to be able to designate what that is in terms of what type of triad, what is this root. So I'm going to invert it to where I get a root position triad. If I bring that down, I get a root position triad. That is an E flat major triad. So it's an E flat in first inversion. The other direction is more difficult. Let's do a couple of those. It's kind of a little more work. If I have nothing there, I can assume 5, 3. Now I'm building down. That means I have a third and a fifth below that. And there I have a triad, if I know my root is E. If it is a 6 below that, I know it's 6 and a 3. First thing I do, I have to get my 6 below because everything's built up. So a 6 below there would be B, and then I can build up my 3. And I can see then I have a triad of first inversion, and if I put it into root position, I have a first inversion triad whose root is G. So G would be my root. Lastly, if I have this, that means it's a second inversion triad. Again, I should create my 6th first, and then build up to my 4th. Be careful not to build backwards. And I see then, if I transpose that, so I see my root is F. I have an F for triad and second inversion.